South Sudan again finds itself at a critical juncture, with the UN's top in-country official warning in late March that the country was teetering on the edge of a renewed civil war.
The trigger can be traced back to events beginning in Upper Nile State since the beginning of March, when the White Army overran the Nasir-based garrison from the South Sudan People's Defence Forces. Subsequent airstrikes on Nasir, allegedly involving devices containing incendiary fuel, have caused significant casualties and horrible injuries, including to women and children. Humanitarians estimate that over 80,000 people have been displaced. The series of events in Nasir culminated on the 7th of March in an attack on a United Nations helicopter in Nasir, resulting in the death of an UNMISS crew member and numerous South Sudanese military personnel.
Warned the council that since the events in Upper Nile State last month, the context has seen a deplorable downward spiral, with reports of further mobilization by the military factions, including the forced recruitment of children into their respective ranks. He pointed to the deployment of Ugandan foreign forces at the request of the South Sudan government as having further stoked public fear. Haysom also earlier indicated that as long-stalled elections in South Sudan grew closer and as political competition increased, the relationship between the two principal players, President Salva Kiir, an ethnic Dinka, and former rival turned Vice President Riek Machar, an ethnic Nuer, appeared to be framed by a lack of trust. Amid this worrying escalation, urgent calls for collective action.
Senior SPLM-IO civilian and military actors have been removed from official posts, detained, or gone into hiding. The arrest of First Vice President Riek Machar reflects a new low in trust between the principal parties. Misinformation, disinformation, and hate speech is fueling political and ethnic tension, particularly on the social media. These conditions are darkly reminiscent of the 2013 and 2016 conflicts, which took over 400,000 lives.
And if a political crisis is not averted in South Sudan, the already fragile humanitarian crisis in the country will simply deteriorate, with negative impacts already felt from the civil war in northern neighbor Sudan.
Last week, the World Food Programme warned that vulnerable families in the northeast of the country are at a critical tipping point, with hunger nearing record levels. With the pre-harvest lean season now beginning, almost 7.7 million people acutely hungry, up from 7.1 million people in the same period in 2024. Beyond the current violence, market disruption, high inflation, and reduced purchasing power also continue to limit household access to food. Our assessments project that 650,000 children under the age of 5 are at risk of severe acute malnutrition this year.
As the UNMISS peacekeeping mission faces growing impediments to its protection of civilians mandate.
UNMISS faces operational limitations in all these tasks, especially in the face of this broader conflict. Our peacekeepers continue to face access denials on the ground. If the current trend continues, we are looking at a shift in conflict dynamics from subnational and community-based violence to a more complex picture involving signatory parties and foreign actors. We are already prioritizing resources accordingly, but UNMISS is a peacekeeping mission, not an army, and cannot be everywhere all at once. In this context, the 4 pillars of UNMISS mandate remain as important as ever. This includes protection of civilians, facilitating the delivery of humanitarian assistance, supporting the implementation of the peace agreement, and monitoring and reporting on human rights. We seek the support of this Council to ensure mandate continuity during the crisis.
A precarious situation in a region already framed by conflict, fragility and civilian suffering. Sherman Bryceby's SABC News, New York.